another personal reading for Olivia, and I'm just gonna read her request. So it says this reading is about a boy named Benny. We dated back in October 2002 through to June 2003. We were in no contact for a year and he dated someone else. Back in September, I called him because you know when people say they hear a voice from God telling them to do something? I don't believe in God, but I just had to call him. It was wonderful. We both really missed each other. About a month ago, his best friend killed herself, and it's changed a lot of things. I'm wondering, is it worth it? Should I have patience for him to be ready? Does he really love me? And is he just avoidant, or has he really just used you for 2 years? Is he the one? Is the pain and patience worth it for your baby boy? Or for my baby boy? Do I really make him happy? Is he just running away? He's been kind of ignoring me for like a week, but recently something happened and I needed him at like 4 a.m. and he was there for me. I'm just very confused and he's not a good communicator. Okay. So, maybe I should have taken some notes. Bear with me. I'm gonna have to focus, but I also want to get the highlighted points. There was a couple of questions there. I didn't fully read and absorb the request. I just knew that it had like details and I didn't want to like not include those details in this live. So feel free to like skip through this. Okay, so is it worth it? The person's attachment style. Like the question that like she's asking is like, was he just using her for 2 years? So we could talk about like, hey Sky, I've been seeing your messages, but bro, like I'm in the same I'm in the same shit. So I don't even know what to say to you. But give me a second. 1 second. But thank you for being here and like wanting to be around me, dude. Like it means a lot. I just don't even know how to like interact, really. But Benny apparently is also not a good communicator, so maybe I'm in Benny's energy. So yeah, like is he wasting your time? And I kind of want to make a special note of that in one encounter that was mentioned where she called him at 4 a.m. and he was there for her. So, I don't know, in my head, I don't know why I'm not saying that you're a hoe, but I heard Captain Save a Hoe. And I'm just going to write that down so I know what I'm talking about. Okay. Cool. So I'll put the computer away because we won't need it anymore. And we're gonna just start, before I even talk about this relationship, I want to talk about Olivia a little bit. So we're gonna use the intuition oracle. And we're gonna figure out like what's what about what just in life for like generally speaking for Olivia right now. And romance might tie into this, but this is just introductory energy. So I'm also gonna light some incense. I've been using this one incense. It's called Money to Burn. So that could be a good omen financially for the new year. For whoever might have needed that. But maybe especially for Olivia. The guy who is like always at the smoke shop is pretty cool. And he has this cool ass dog named Riley. And I don't know. For whoever that may like ring some bells. The name Riley. Because I had, there was a kid, a girl, she was a Virgo, very autistic. In my class when I was a daycare teacher, her name was Riley. And she used to want to drink out of the toilet. And she flushed the toilet like a lot. Like she was always looking for stimulus. And she was the type of kid to like sneak over to the light switch during class and like freak us all out by like turning off the light. I thought it was so funny to see everybody in shock. She was like a little terrorist, but like two, you know. And then she also had to get like ear tubes put in. She was born to older parents, so like she came late in their lives, and she's also an only child. She was a little spoiled and like used to getting her way. I don't even know why I'm like giving you guys Riley's biography, but maybe it's relevant for whomever. She was a cute little thing, very like chunky, which is what I like in a baby. I like a chunky baby. And at night time, she like a lot of the kids like to be rubbed in circles, but not her. Like you had to pat her, like she needed like rhythm, and I like that about her. It's like she's soothed by like what's rough. Okay, so Olivia. There's actually a lot of Olivias in my collective. I think there's like at least 3 Olivias that I've had, separate Olivias as clients. So that's pretty cool. I like the cartoon when I was a kid. Okay, what is Olivia's guides want to communicate to her right now? Before we even talk about love, what's going on for Olivia? I know this card. Okay, this is the Warrior, number 18, affirmation, I can handle whatever life brings to me. You look like this. So it does look like a little bit of anxiety. It looks like a reflection primarily though. So whatever you are thinking about could be shadowier of your past, which makes sense kind of coming out of the holiday season. Like we're in winter time, so this is like kind of the deader time when we're like processing, making plans for what we're going to be planting in the new year. So as a part of that process for you spiritually, you could be guided to like reminisce on, I was singing in the shower, remember the times we had, the times that you made me had. Yeah, you could be feeling guided to reflect, and that makes sense because you were like heard a voice from God, but I don't even really believe in God. Like above her head is then like a North Star. I don't know if it's actually the North Star, but like in my mind it's the North Star. So it's also cool to say, like, you know, whatever you do believe in, or regardless of how much faith you actually have, you still seem to be in alignment with, like, what is good for you. And she's wearing a crown. So without even trying, you know, you're on track here. Okay, what else? Nice. We have the worker and the warrior. Number 6, affirmation, I enjoy getting in touch with who I am as an individual. Scythe gang. I wonder if you resonate at all with Soul Eater, because like this reminds me of Maka, and you know her person or soulmate is the Scythe, whose name is Soul. And there's like that red and black thing going on up there, which reminds me of myself, because I work with Elegua, which is like an Orisha. So it talks a lot about I say it because it's like it's Mercury ruled, so it's not like really polar, it's the in-between. So you may not be familiar with Elegua, but you may know like Hermes, which is like the Greek version of the same thing, or not the same guy, but you know, very similar energy. It's like a communicator. So we're like, and you mentioned that this person like may have a deficiency in like external communication, like maybe specifically like with words. So that could be like how you guys match up here. It's like you are the voice and they are the thing. Like that actually is the thing. Like you are the expression of the thing and they are the actual tangible thing. Like my account on here is called Soldier of Sekhmet, and my soulmate is an actual soldier. So there's like and then also not even just like romantically that way, I also have a soulmate cousin who's also a Marine, and then my dad is militant. So I am the feminine expression of, you know, that. I think that, you know, there's a lot about like how life around you is conspiring to show you how you fit into parts of a like greater whole. This is a beehive over here. So if you have been like insecure about your functionality in systems where you're expected to be cooperative, I feel like people are like they're happy with your performance. I don't know if that's like work or whatever. Okay. What else? This is just like a quick little like what else for Olivia? Can I have like one more? That's more than one. That's cool. We have the initiator, number 13, affirmation, I overcome resistance and do what must be done now. So this is you kind of like grabbing life by the balls. Then we have the reputable, number 34, affirmation, I live life as if my guardian angels are watching over me. Grabbing life by the balls, knowing how, when to do that, and doing that in like divine timing. Once again, without even really having to try. So I mean, like the number 13 for me, that's the initiator, is a lucky number for me. And then once again, we have like star formations. It feels like whatever like motivation is being sparked in you is like important to be aware of, because it's important to decisions that you need to make and actions you need to take. And we have the teacher, number 10, affirmation, I study and share wisdom with those who will value it. So I like that because like it's coming out like kind of foundationally. So I have the cards kind of like aligned in a T. There's 5 of them, and there's just that one teacher card underneath. So you're showing up as being someone who has a high level of maturity, and maybe the reason why you have like even a distance from like institutionalized religion is because you understand that as like just foundational knowledge. So you've already begun to build upon foundational knowledge in a way that makes you feel less attached to the foundation itself. Like there's a lot of stars around and like space imagery even on this card. So you're not really like maybe of this world, you're kind of like on a different playing field. Like we have Top Gun here and like Daredevil and stuff, and Mob Psycho. So, you know, if you feel elite, then like you made it to the right channel, because so do I. And I feel like regardless of whether or not you're trying to be elite, there's a lot about how you just live your life that demonstrates that. People are noticing that about you, that you are just always like somehow landing on your feet. Like I have a black cat, and I'm like a practicing occultist. Like it's like the kind of thing where like you look like what you are in the world, and it just makes sense and it clicks to people, and they understand how they should treat you and move around you because of how you, the respect that you like kind of carry yourself with, maybe even transformations that they've witnessed you have, like things like if you've been through anything difficult recently, like if you had to go through the fire in some kind of way, people were like, oh wow, I respect how you handled that very difficult situation. Because I feel like people like around you, like this is kind of like masculine a little bit. Like if I don't know what you do, but your productivity is attractive. Especially maybe even if that involves communication, because you have the communicator at the bottom of the deck here. So I feel like it's easy for you to find commonality with people, maybe even without trying to, or without it seeming like you're trying to. It's just like you fit in, or you can really well. Like once again, talking about this like in between energy of elegua, like you naturally being guided, because like elegua, I say I work with him, he's like my head. Like my North Star would be like elegua. Like my life path is to walk in between, to walk that thin line, like as like maybe you in the 1%. So there's a certain level of flexibility that you've been embedded with, maybe even through your detachment from the rules, like understanding them as guidelines and not as like true limiting forces. So I mean, it looks like, you know, you're in power in your life, and that's something that you should like be grounding yourself in, maybe even moving into the new year specifically, is that you do have this power and you do know how to use it to like initiate yourself towards whatever your goals may be. So don't worry about like what the goals are, you know, or even how people around you are responding to what your goals are. Like it's not important to you putting things into action. So that's just for you, because I love you so much. And then now we're gonna talk about this situation between you and Beni. And it kind of reminds me a little bit like of the character from The Sandlot that I used to have a crush on. I used to have a crush on a lot of male characters, but I don't know if they were all crushes or I just kind of wanted to be like them. Because I have like an admiration for masculine energy, like strength specifically. Not even just masculine strength, but also like feminine strength. I really appreciate. Okay, so this relationship, is it worth it? This deck is already sitting here and open. That was a container for a bundle of yarn. So, like, it was already open. So the situation is already open. And that's something to consider, like, when you're asking yourself the question of how to move forward. Because I don't think I'm here to, like, tell you what to do with your life. But I think I'm going to give you some, like, objective observation of the situation so you can, like, feel grounded in whatever you might do next. But, like, it's already open. So, like, it makes me feel like, you know, there's history here that's worth considering. Maybe not to, like, completely be ruled by in your decision making. Like, it's not enough to say, like, oh, you know, we have spent time together, so we should only spend time together. Or that I should see you as the only option I have. But I do feel like it's worth, you know, considering what you've put into, like, the dynamic thus far. Okay, so is this relationship between Olivia and Beni worth it? Show me the dynamic between these two people. Please allow me to see clearly what is being shown to me in the cards so that I may communicate as much as knowing that it is most beneficial. Right. Seven of Cups. Temperance in reverse. This is what it looks like upright. It's a guardian angel dude again. This is Sagittarius energy. Ninth house talks about higher education, maturation. It's the last fire sign, so it's like the sage. I was thinking of my little brother earlier, and his like Instagram thing is like the wandering Ronin. Like he has a whole samurai fixation. So I mean, you could be dealing with like a cowboy type. Like Sagittarius is like a horse. I went through the desert on a horse with no name. Felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name. 'Cause there ain't no one for it to give you no pain. I think that's Horse with No Name by America. Maybe. We have Death, and then the Ace of Cups is here, like, sneaking out a little bit. A lot of submission in these cards. I have to say that. Like, Temperance is here to say, like, if you felt like there was some kind of, and you said you don't believe in God, but whatever thing that you might believe in that is in control of other things, if you do believe in that in any way, I do. So I can only tell you in the way that I, you know, see it. And I come from a Christian background, like that's my foundation, but I've also elevated off of it. So like, I still believe in this kind of like string puller of sorts that like keeps things in check and balance, and that's what this force represents. So there's a submission to that, or a need for it if you're not already in it. To like this idea of maybe even there being a predetermined outcome to events before they even play out. Not because you don't have the freedom in any moment to make whatever choice you want to make, but because like understanding that it doesn't really matter what you do might let you like relax into what you want to do. And when you start doing what you want to do, you start seeing like those results that match up with your emotional needs in ways that make you feel comfortable over the long term. So like, let's say for example, if you like called this person like that time when you were just feeling led to, and then like they didn't answer, you would have like felt away, like that would have confirmed something for you in the way that it needed to, but that didn't happen. Like they answered, you know what I'm saying? So like there is something to like be aware of, even in like some of these more smaller victories. Like I don't know like how much you really want to invest in those as being like significant, but I do feel like they kind of are significant because they're showing up as being significant. And the Ace of Cups is here, but once again, it didn't come out. It was tucked in the deck above death, above submission. So like in order to access it or like break through some kind of threshold, you might have to practice being submissive to not always receiving the outcomes that you want, but them still being viable outcomes, maybe even in some kind of like future time. Like being able to move beyond scarcity, pain, lack, and then work through your own mental processes while still striving towards your goals. Because either way, like you're getting to the biscuit here. Like even if the situation that's not working out, that does seem like it is like capable of recovering, because it's a Ten of Swords in the reverse. Like even if it's not even here, you still have like other things worth looking forward to. And there could even be like a necessity for you to accomplish these side quests in order for the outcome that you want to be viable, for the recovery that you want to be viable. So don't like don't hold your cards so tight that like you don't even allow yourself to be independent from this relationship, right? Because you might like understand that this is the person that you want, but that doesn't mean that there might not be other situations available still for you to be guided towards. So if you're feeling like, yeah, I like this situation and I feel like I, have an attachment here, but I feel led to move in this other direction to explore this other avenue, like that's also something that you're allowed to do or maybe even encouraged to do moving forward. And that might help it feel more worth it, because if you are just focused on this one person, when you have all these other things in your life, that could start to like reinforce this lack mentality of like, oh, well, like this is the one thing I want, or I feel like I want most right now in this moment and it's not available. So that means that things are not working out. So I would say be aware of that, because that could contribute to you being like, this isn't worth it because I'm not getting this right now. When really, it could still be like somewhere over the rainbow. And that's real, even though it is a hope and a dream, but like the only way that you get there is through functioning in other ways. Why is my hand itch so goddamn bad? Haters are my motivators. Okay, why is Seven of Cups here? Yeah, Nine of Swords in reverse. If you're like, I think this is like a both of you thing. Both of you like probably think about each other, but don't interact. It's like things that don't touch, but orbit around each other. There's like a necessity for the other person, even if just like in theory. Like, because there's something grounding about this connection for the both of you. Like it is constant in some way. Yeah. Page of Cups. I just heard opportunities out of the blue. So, and then we have the Empress here in reverse. Yeah, so like really be aware of your own mentality here. If you still want to manifest this over the long term, it definitely might need to be a passive manifestation where you're not necessarily like directly attacking the situation through like conversation or whatever. Because like you said, like this person, like since your last communication, it's been like some time, like they have been taking their time. And when they do that, like that shouldn't be a problem for you. Like, unless it's to an extent that makes it so that you're so here's the thing about that though, because I wanted to say that like unless it's to an extent that makes you feel disrespected, and like yeah, respect yourself, but also be aware of how this person's actions may or may not actually have anything to do with you. and may be personal for the ways that they prioritize their own best interest, which is an energy that you are encouraged to maybe embody more. Because I think that you're the kind of person who maybe like easily like consumed by one thing that you really like. And I don't know that this person is like that same way. And even if they are that same way, then they are better at compartmentalizing that because they're engaging. Like they don't seem to be maybe like, and I'm saying this like Two of Cups is here, literally here, and Scorpio, like death. It's like, yes, you are the constant rock thing. Like this relationship is a constant rock thing for the both of you. You both feel grounded in it and understand your compatibility in it and like the potential of the happiness that could exist there. But for whatever reason, in whatever way, that's not being divinely guided or allowed to happen right now. Like the Temperance is here in the reverse as like a divine obstacle that's like intentionally put there. So like, you know, in the absence of the full thing, you know, it's up to you to kind of decide how you respond to the absence of the full thing. And I think that there's some kind of like character demonstration for both of you in like how you behave before you get to the end position. Like both of you will continue to witness each other in who you are until you become what you will be. And neither of you even really knows exactly what that thing is yet. So there's a lot of like faith, trust, and pixie dust necessary here. And that's why the warrior came out for you before, because you could be struggling to summon that and you're needing to work on that. Like if you are super anxious, like, you know, it could even cause you to like lash out in some kind of emotional way that even may not be productive. Not that that's ever fully like avoidable. Like, I think both of you do that to each other. So be aware. Why is the Six of Pentacles here? Dude, why are y'all going to the ground? Queen of Cups in reverse. It's like that emotional lash out thing. Yeah. Don't be so attached to your position that you become like egoic or like arrogant. And then that's like, because like, I think maybe you're like, okay, well, if you like me, then like, let's just do the thing. But this person may like, I don't know what their thing might be. We can talk more about that in a second, but like, it's like they're just not as on go, maybe. That doesn't mean that they like are ignoring you. Because I do feel like there's like, you would be forced to admit how they've maybe obviously contributed to this connection. So it's important to see that as the obvious contribution that it is, and not like fixate too much on like what you might have asked for that you haven't gotten. Like, what have you gotten? Like, grounding yourself in that could be helpful moving forward. If you do like, if you're leaning more towards like, I want to invest, because like, is it worth it? Subjective, you know. It depends on like each person who may be absorbing this content. So like, is it worth it for Olivia? Maybe different for like, is it worth it for someone else? Because this energy could exist to like I can see where Olivia's person is, but like I can see how other people could be in maybe like a more negative, like take this to an extreme, to where like one person is like, there's like, I feel like there is maybe a power play here. So when you're asking yourself this question, like, is it worth it? I think maybe it's because you feel vulnerable to this person's whim. Like, you don't necessarily always feel like you're in control, which means that you're more like emotionally sensitive or liable to be negatively emotionally impacted by what this person may do, because there's something maybe like even unpredictable about that, because it's like they're not restrained or restricted in anything anyway. The most like fixed energy is that death energy, but it's Scorpio, so it's water. Like, it's emotional energy. It's like an emotional fixation. It's like an emotional bond, maybe even a trauma bond for some of you, or for Olivia, that keeps you like makes you remain significant in the mind, body, and soul of the other person. But there definitely would be that soulmate chemistry that keeps you aware of each other and desiring to be aware of each other, maybe even of service to each other. But that doesn't mean that this situation is necessarily in any kind of fixed position outside of like the emotional significance of what you mean to each other. So like, that being said, you can't be upset with this person who doesn't meet every expectation that you might have. And even if they do know what those are, they may still not be meeting them. And that would be because it feels like there's something even greater that you all are submitting to, even beyond this relationship, which could be like this guardian angel force, temperance in reverse, which is not allowing the energy to like materially form. But it's cool because it's developing anyways, even when it's not like in play. Which is what I was saying about like you guys continuing to observe each other in reaction to the circumstances. Like, I think if there was like a question of compatibility and like character, it's being proven through the overcoming of obstacles. Like your being energy, divine feminine with empress in reverse, is what's kind of being developed in the meantime. Four of Pentacles in reverse wants to slide. Why is death here? This is like the card that talks about like you guys' emotions and shit. Yeah, Five of Wands in reverse. No competition in terms of like emotional significance. Like you're locked in, even if just emotionally. But that doesn't mean that no one else is around. Does that make sense? Like there could still be other players on the field. And even though like, you know, it's your, like you have like a grander team, but like you and that one teammate have that like special chemistry. Like you just like understand how to get the ball to each other. But there's still other people that you have to interact with on that team. That's kind of what it feels like. And then there may even be times when like you guys don't play together. And you just have to watch the other person play and you get to like see how they play. And you're like, wow, I appreciate how this person plays. Yeah. So like, absorb that because there's good stuff there. And maybe that's what you need, is to take a step back away from like a sense of obligation to this relationship and take some of the stress off of it and just bring back maybe some more play or like casual interaction where there isn't like, this is what I need from you in order for this to be good, you know? It's more like, I'm here to witness and observe you and your functionality because I just care to know. That's what this Hermit Virgo energy is at the bottom of the deck, and the Seven of Swords too. So I think you benefit, and both of you will benefit from approaching that relationship from that way. Like, what do I need to know about you? What are you ready to show me in this experience? And let that be fun, because I think that there is like fun here, and that's part of what makes you so significant to the other. It's like we function maybe even in a similar way. I understand you to some extent. I want to understand more about you. I want to know what I don't know. And there could be some like creepy crawly things in there. So like be aware, like once again, that there is a grander playing field beyond your position and their position and how you guys feel about each other. So that when things do occur, you can already be considering what obligations and submissions and roles and responsibilities may contradict with like the best interest of this relationship, and how this person or you may even have to make choices that distract like the eye. Yeah, cat. Because like I said, the fixedness is that like death, that Scorpio energy, that like emotional bond of like magnetism. It's like chemistry. It's not tangible per se. Okay, so if you're really into the chemistry, it probably is worth it, because I feel like there's a development process that is underway. We have the Page of Cups, the Empress, and the Queen of Cups. And it's like right in the center. Underneath Temperance and the Six of Pentacles. So it's like a divinely guided exchange, development, karmically balances you, brings you from a lower level to a higher level. And that's in your divine feminine Empress being energy. All the meanwhile, you have this bond to someone else, and they're impacting you through some kind of like telepathic umbilical cord. And, you know, you're communicating through some like channel of like, because your belly button is like solar plexus. It's like your identity and your confidence and your personality. So it's those things that really maybe connect you guys and make you guys understand how, you know, similar or significant you guys will be to each other. My dog is breathing like really loud, like Darth Vader. Holy shit. My dog is Vader. Okay, so we're talking about now your person, a little bit more like specifically them. Hold on, I have to like be careful how I shift myself because I'm not wearing a lot of clothes. I use Bev. Wow, that is a really insulated mug. Okay. Shout out to Sky if you're still here for that really insulated mug. I made that coffee like before I started this. It's been 36 minutes and it's still hot as shit. Love that. Love it. Okay, so Beni's attachment style. What does Olivia need to know about Beni's attachment style and how that's going to impact her? I don't know if I want to use this deck. Hold on. Let me look at my options here. Let's use the Moonology, right? I just mentioned Sky. So I talked about like how that was a really insulated mug, and then I thanked Sky. And Sky, I'll tell you a little bit like how I kind of like synthesized. She reminds me of like Zeus, so like I think of the electricity bolt, and her name is literally Sky, and she like gifts me things that I need, like without even knowing that I need them. She just like gives me them, and it's super cool. It's like I feel like God works through her in my life, which is awesome. So I wonder if this person is like seeing you that way. And then also she gave me this coffee mug, like, right? Like it's like, for me, coffee is like kind of a comfort drink. Like it makes me feel good. And I need it like all the time, like every day. Pretty much I drink coffee. And it's a mug that keeps it warm for me while I'm doing other things. So it's like I can always come back to it and it's gonna be that same like warm feeling. So I think that you could have that kind of containing vessel like presence. Like if like this is not my new favorite mug, so like if I'm gonna drink coffee, I'm gonna want to drink it out of this one. And I have other ones, so this one like got dirty or something like that. Like yeah, like whatever. Let's like grab another one. But I would prefer to go for this one now that I have it. So I feel like there's something about that with this person's attachment style. Like you're the very nice insulated coffee mug out of their pantry of cups. Okay, but more about this from the deck. Insulation. Law of thermodynamics. So you're not transferring the heat. You're containing it, regulating it, redistributing it from within. There could be something about you that's like conservative in some way. And this person might appreciate that. Bless you, Doc. I called him Woodhouse earlier while I was giving him a bath. I love my dog. He doesn't take me seriously. Okay. Yeah. We have take a breath, moonstruck, and I just talked about that lightning energy. So Zing, also Hotel Transylvania. You guys could have had like a zing, which is that like chemistry, right? Then we have Healing Moon, Seek Healing. Can I have one more? Una más. Gracias. We have Moonbeam's Focus. So this person's attachment style does seem like, you know, it's avoidant. Like they're not like in, Dark Side of the Moon Mystery, they're not in a rush to like jump onto this situation or make anything happen in like the right now. I talked about like that observation thing. The bottom of the deck right now is still the Hermit Virgo, and it's facing towards the cards I just pulled. So I think this person could want to like either explore their dark side or maybe even let you into theirs. And if they do let you into theirs, it's so they can kind of like gauge your response to how they are. Because there could be some level of concealment or just like compartmentalization that I spoke about before. So this person could be like occasionally testing you to let you like in, to let you see some of the darkness. And they want to see like, you know, how you respond. Like, can you handle them basically? Because I think this person understands that they have intensity, that there's a reason for them to be compartmentalized, and they may like understand or expect people to not be able to like withstand their pressure or like electricity. Moonstruck. I do feel like you're dealing with someone who's emotional. Like I felt called to pull from the Moonology for their attachment style. Like I was gonna use the skeleton deck, but then I was redirected to this one. So like maybe even if this person's like regularly more bony, like unfeeling or like dead, then this is a person who maybe even comes into color around you. Because the cards that I pulled are all colors that have like color, and this one even has like the rainbow on it, so there could be a little bit of fruitiness here that you're like activating, that they appreciate but may also contribute to some of their avoidance. Because it's like, once again, there's like a necessary truth required in this relationship to be in this dynamic. So with like the center card being Seek Healing, you might notice this person like going through phases where they're becoming more and more themselves, more and more comfortable like being themselves, showing themselves either to you or to people in general. Maybe and especially because you mentioned this person like was grieving. So like if they're coming out of grief, because this is take a breath, then they're starting to do that now. Like they're starting to maybe even become more vibrant, but they may not always be there. And they would maybe want you to be considerate of the fact that they're a person who is like a whole, but still has all those different things going on. Like me. On the spectrum, in more than one way. Like, just a person who's fluid. Once again, Virgo, mercurial energy. Okay, so yeah, this person's fluid. I think they like once again have a focus on you as someone of interest to be respected. Like as someone to not want to lose. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're like moving full speed ahead either. Okay, so now we're gonna ask, is this a waste of your time? Is he intentionally wasting your time? Find out this and more very soon. I'm gonna go back to the skeleton deck. So, Denny, are you wasting Olivia's time? What's going on? And I almost, I almost feel like that could be like your guides like applying some pressure. Like if or whenever this person may occasionally disrespect the standard that you expect or whatever, I think this person feels that pressure. Even if they are contrasting the standard. It's like they know that there might be repercussion, or like that they might have to, even if the repercussion isn't from you, and if it's just like, you know, like an atmosphere that they're creating through their behavior. Like I think this person understands that they're creating an atmosphere. This Dark Side of the Moon mystery, like they are avoidant, they are not on the scene. And they know that. but they also maybe don't know how to be any other way. So it's like a necessary evil kind of energy here. Like, I don't think this person is intentionally trying to like cause mayhem, but they may like be an object of desire, not only to you but to like other people. Like, I keep like getting this energy of like team, like there being other pieces on like the board game table, Monopoly. Like, you can't monopolize this person in their current stage because they don't have the resources to give like that way. Like, so you shouldn't expect this person to be single-mindedly focused on you, even though the card for focus comes out with their attachment in relation to you. Like, they are attached, like I said, in that way of like, my identity is reflected in you in some kind of way that I appreciate, or I feel like inspired or like comforted by you in some kind of way that I appreciate. But that doesn't mean that they have like, or that you should expect to have like full sovereignty over them or their resources, especially like mentally and emotionally. Because this person, I don't think, is like on tap like that. Like, this is not like a never-ending fountain of them. Or whatever it is they have to offer, even in terms of like validation. They might be like summoning a lot more than you think. And like this dark side of the moon, like their mental health, their mental illnesses, you know, like there could be more than you know. They're more likely than not is. So continue to like consider that about this person and how they're still healing from things, and what that might mean for them, like how their healing might look very different from your healing. Like I even have this kind of like back and forth with a lot of my family members, because when I'm going through things, I'm not the type to like go out and reach out for help, because I'm the one that gets reached out to for the help. You know, like I'm the helper. So when I need help, I help myself. Like I just will separate until I've helped myself, and then I will return when I have more help to give. So it's confusing to people who don't have that operation system. And I don't know if that's you right now in this connection. Like if you're like person who like when you go through things you want to reach out and feel comforted by others. Because, you know, this reminds me of a situation with my soulmate. Because like I first met this guy like when I was in a point of transition. Like I was moving into my first apartment after like having to get it out the mud. So like I didn't have anything, and I was like starting a new life, and it felt like, you know, I met him like right in the point of transition, because we're both like mercurial dominant people. So like I was like, okay, well, like, are you gonna be in it? And I thought that he was gonna be in it, but he was in it, but just not in it. He was like, he's right outside of it. So like you know, I think that it's okay to be okay with what you can get here until you can get what you want, because there does seem to be like phases. Okay, wasting time? Yeah, Seven of Pentacles is here in the reverse, so it's like you're putting in efforts for the long haul. Don't be impatient, because I think the yield is worth the wait here. Is this like, is Beni wasting her time? What are Beni's intentions? We have Judgment in reverse. Underneath this, like, take a breath, moonstruck energy. Beni's intentions, and is he wasting her time? The World. The sun is here too. Peeking. Peaky Blinders. So yeah, like I don't know who this guy is, but like players, and I mentioned The Sandlot, did I not? And Beni went on to be like this National League player, and then I also mentioned Top Gun. So like there could be a lot going on here in this person's life, and it's like a restrictive thing. Like it keeps them focused on their specific goals, doesn't maybe even allow them a lot of free time. And whatever their free time is, it's like it's not necessarily going to you, because they may need to recharge. Like, and that could be the thing that they dedicate a lot of their like alone time to, is themselves in that like rebuilding process. Beni and the Jets. Beni. We have the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Like, you know, it's like bidding for attention. I think this person has a lot of people who like pull on them. We have the Eight of Cups in reverse. This is it upright. It's a guy walking away from his treasure. It's reversed. And on the table, he's walking towards the pentacle. That's also reversed. Beni. See, I tried to sing just then, and then my voice got all cracked up. Beni and the Jets. We have the Four of Cups here in reverse. And then the Fool. I'm trying to get the full picture here before I say anything. And I feel like that's your person's energy. As well. Then we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. That's way too much, dude. The Hierophant in reverse. This is it upright. Dude's like levitating on him. And they're like, please, show me the method. Then we have the Page of Swords. It's just hilarious. We have the Knight of Cups in reverse too. Okay, so I think that your person could be like the guy. I don't know. I don't know who you're dealing with, but they could be the guy. And so people could be like trying to get into contact with them a lot. Like, I don't know what they do for work, but they could be someone important in the world. So a lot of their intentions and focus kind of surround orchestrating maybe the chaos that is their everyday life. Because I feel like this person has chaotic everyday life. I think this person has it in their mind that you're the kind of person that they would offer that kind of a thing to. You're the kind of person that they would offer that kind of a thing to. But that doesn't seem like a right now kind of opportunity. It feels like an idea of something that they want to like continue to build in the future, but it's not related to the right now. It's not related to their current goals. So when you feel compartmentalized, it's because you are being compartmentalized, but it's not because you're not a valuable thing. It's because you're not like applicable to the current landscape. And then and this is like this person's way of like being. Maybe now more than ever, if they weren't always like that. Because if this person had to get into a mode in order to get through their grief, right? Like, if, let's say, for example, they were grieving over their, like, loss of this really important person. And they're like, okay, well, now I'm just going to work, you know? Like, all I care about now is working. Then, like, that's the mode of the person that you're in, like, you're with now. But that doesn't mean that they don't care about you. You're just not the most important thing. And they will probably continue to act in ways that you might perceive as selfish. And they maybe are selfish, but it's like a necessary evil to this person. And they feel maybe that they understand that they disappoint you occasionally, but they also feel like they can't like please everyone. And that's, I think, good. This person has like the ability to make those judgment calls, even when they're not the ones that you would feel most comforted by. So yeah, that's that on that. Now we're gonna talk about the Captain Save-A-Ho thing. When you called at 4 and they answered, what was that? What was going on in their head? I want to see if I should use another deck or something. Okay, yeah, let's use this one because I rarely ever use this one. Beni, 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 Beni in the chest. I literally feel like somebody might have literally been like edging Elton John in the studio. Why is that hilarious? Let me work, please. Whoa! Dude. You're... Come on, man. What was I even doing? You're distracting me. Oh, shit. Okay. So, yeah, what was going on in his head when he was saving you? What was going on? How did you feel about that? A clockwork pumpkin, a wonderful idea, the aha moment. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's funny that this says clockwork because I was rewatching a reading I did for Sky earlier about how her boss lets her ride the clock. And he's like attracted to her. She's his secretary. That reminds me also of like Suits, Donna, and the dude Harvey. There could be some kind of like mind synastry that's like really hot and it makes them like sexually attracted to you. So like if you called them at 4 a.m. they may have already been awake, could have like already been thinking of you. So it's like it's like clockwork. Then we have strangely lonely, holding on way too tight. And that was in the reverse. That's number 17. And the other one was 39. And this is 15. Mildew fairy cleanup time. So it feels like this person was like witnessing you clean out your closet or something. Like you may have expressed some like rare truths or they felt like they were helping you do something hard. Strangely lonely. Like if you were reaching out like it's 1:15 I'm all alone and I need you now. If it was something like that, then I think they liked that it was like them that you called, that you needed, that you clung to. And I don't know how I can do without. I just need you now. We have Angel de los Muertos transitions to the spirit realm. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like that's just like a confirmation of the fact that you guys are like having some kind of mind link. Whatever your darkness is, I think this person finds resonance with it. Even if it's not like their own personal darkness, like they might have known someone else who struggled through something that you've struggled through, or like it makes you seem more real to them. I think if you're trying to work on reducing your toxicity or your darkness, then they appreciate that you try. I think that this person likes to see you like trying. Even if you're not always like you're not always executing properly. Or like they see where you're weak. Like this person has identified, maybe even through this encounter specifically, where you are weak. But it doesn't make them like reject you. Maybe not entirely, maybe not completely. Because I feel like this person, like once again, like clockwork, like there is an understanding of resonance, like soul resonance, like soul eater, like it's two hearts to be as one. Okay, so more. What else was this person thinking like when they came to the rescue? Go, Diego, go, Diego. Vámonos, Diego, vámonos, Diego. I think this person likes to be a knight in shining armor. Maybe for you specifically. Yeah, like this is the Knight of Wands, just like a soldier boy kind of thing. Came out in the reverse. The shirt, yeah, I got this from the liquor store for $10. Thanks. Shout out to the liquor store. Woo woo. It's a quarter after one. I'm all alone and I need you now. Queen of Cups in reverse. This came up before, I think, and before I was talking about like emotional lash outs. So I don't know if there was an emotional lash out during that conversation, but it doesn't have to be that. It was towards them kind of a thing. They could think that you should express more. Like, I think this person would like to see more of you soft, more of you weak, even though they like see you as strong. Like if they have a soldier boy attitude, I think they like it's coming out underneath the clockwork energy. It's like the same. If they see something of the same in you, so you know, I think this person would like if you were weak with them, because they like I'm imagining like situations my cousin has told me about when he's like in the fields and they just talk to each other in the middle of nowhere about themselves. So it's kind of like they kind of maybe would like I'm like picture like a bonfire kind of thing where it's like we're just sitting around in this comfortable space and we're just talking, we're shooting this shit. I think if it was like that, they really like to just shoot the shit with you or like be personable with you, even if that does include some kind of like negative expressions occasionally or like some emotional explosions. We have the Ten of Swords in reverse. So yeah, if you had to recover from something difficult, this person witnessed that or saw you like even going through the pain of it, this person wants to be a part of that close circle for you and feels validated by being a part of that. If that confirmed it, like if that situation confirmed for them that they're a part of your loyalties, that made them feel good. Because they already see you as that way. Like they already have a loyalty towards you. Friendship could be at the very core of this situation, and if that's so, it's maybe even a contributing factor in why this does have like long-term possibilities. So to confirm like the question of is it worth it, like especially so if you feel like this person is like a friend to you and you're like willing to accept friendship when other things are not available. So yeah, it's a quarter after one. All right, that's all I have. So